Hello, Steve White, Steve White 89. Well, I just did a video venting about an issue, a topic, and it reminded me of something that happened in my own life that also bothered me, and I'm still bitter about all these years later, and I need some YouTube therapy to talk about it. I kind of got screwed over a few times in relation to something. Now, I grew up in Tasmania and I studied graphic design and art. I did 2 art courses. I got out of PE and did 2 art courses. And I was, top of the class. I got honours, and I basically wanted to go to university and I wanted to study media, but we didn't have media courses in secondary in Tasmania. So my art marks from my art courses didn't really translate, and I couldn't get into a media course at university. So I had to get into a fine art painting course, and then once I was in the system, my marks from that year would translate to university marks, basically, and I could, in theory, transfer it into a media course. So that was the plan. So I went and I got into a course. It was easy to get into because, I was good at what I did and I was an honest student and top marks and everything. There was some issues with the fact that the TCE wasn't the same as the VCE and all those ridiculous things, which I hope they've fixed at this point. It's been years. But I didn't get into the course that I wanted, though, because I kind of got screwed over by my teachers as well. And one of them was gay, so I felt particularly betrayed there. But they worked out, of course, towards sometime during the year that I wasn't planning to do the whole art course. I was just there for a year to get the marks to transfer into a media course. And I wanted to go back to Melbourne and do a media course and study media and work in film or TV. So they failed me. They failed me for the last semester because I got top marks for the first 2 semesters, and once they found out I wasn't planning to come back and what I was doing, that I had planned to do that the whole time, which I had. But I mean, I was always planning to go back and finish the art degree and then do a dip ed for media and art and teach media and art in secondary if I couldn't sustain a film or TV career, which a lot of artists don't. They get work on a few projects and, that's sort of all that happens. You sort of don't have a long life in that industry. Some people do, a lot of people don't. I wasn't expecting that, so I had a backup. But for the most part, I was just only planning to do 1 year, and they resented that I did that. They felt like I took someone else's place, and they failed me for the last semester, and that hurt me marks-wise, and I couldn't get into RMIT. Now, RMIT was the best media course at the time, as far as I could tell, at university. And, I mean, for those who don't know, outside of Australia, Lee Winnell and James Wan, who went on to make Saw and Insidious and Aquaman, they went to RMIT. So I missed out on RMIT, and I went to La Trobe University. And what's worse, like RMIT had a better setup, better equipment, but La Trobe still had a decent setup, but they didn't let the students use it. They focused mainly on the theory side of things, and when it came to the practical, they didn't really put much time into actually teaching us and having us actually do anything. And part of the problem was, I believe, they didn't want the students to use the professional grade equipment because my understanding was they were hiring it out to visiting professionals and film crews. Like, for example, the film production company that made the Blonde miniseries with Kirstie Alley and Poppy Montgomery. They used their Avid system to do all their dailies and everything, and so they were having professionals use their digital editing system. And those Madonna fans will probably recognise Avid from the Aviddiva mix of Hollywood, because they used the Avid for the mix for that, the video editing for that. That's where they got the name. Yeah, so basically all they gave us students was a demonstration, and I didn't even get that because they were going to do it after a break, and I went to the break, I came back, they're already gone, and they'd gone up to the editing suites, and because of the soundproofing, I couldn't find which editing bay they were in. So all they had the students do was they let us basically just use the old digital analog systems, analog system, video systems, not digital systems, and that's what we did our films on. I edited a couple of student films for people, and when they did actually finally screen them, they had some professional people there, and one of them wanted to talk to me because they liked the work that I'd done on one of the videos, one of the films videos. That's the problem. when she eventually asked me what system I used, I said, well, we didn't use a digital system. That was edited on video. It was a video, not, so, and she was like, oh. So basically what she realized was I was of no use to her, because even though I had editing skills that could be translated from using the analog system to using digital system, because it's, it's transferable, she would have had to train me how to use the digital system and to use the program, because I didn't know, and that just would have been a waste of time. It would have been easy to just find someone who's familiar with the software and the equipment and the whole digital system, which I wasn't, because although I should have been taught it because I paid for a course that was supposed to be practical as well as theoretical, they didn't let us do it, because in my theory, allegedly, supposedly, they didn't want to let the students use the equipment because they wanted to hire it out to professionals, because they thought if we'd just be wasting time, they could have been hiring it out, or we would have damaged it or something. So yep, got screwed over several times, still bitter about it, missed out on opportunities.